What's up, my brothers and sisters? I'm back with another gem for y'all. Today we're going to be discussing about the Apostle Paul, formerly known as Saul. He was a persecutor of the Christian church before he became an apostle of the kingdom of Jesus and preached the gospel, and went on to be an author in the Bible who wrote 13 letters in the New Testament. The purpose of this video is so you shouldn't question if God has a purpose for you in his kingdom. If he was able to use Paul, a man who used to imprison believers of Christ, he can definitely use you. You know what I'm saying? So chapter 7 goes on. Chapter 7 in the book of Acts goes on to be the speech of Stephen, which was an anointed man who was stoned to death under Saul's command. Chapter 8 is where, after that, Saul continues to terrorize the Christian church and destroy the church. And then chapter 8 verse 3 says, "But Saul began to destroy the church, going from house to house. He dragged off both men and women and put them in prison." So he's putting people in prison for believing in Christ. Then you go on to chapter 9. Chapter 9 verse 1 says, "Meanwhile, Saul was still breathing out murderous threats against the Lord's disciples. He went to the high priest." And then chapter 9 verse 3 to 9 says, "As he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard voices say to him, 'Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?' 'Who are you, Lord?' Saul asked. 'I am Jesus whom you are persecuting,' he replied. 'Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do.' The men traveling with Saul stood there speechless. They heard this sound but did not see anyone. Saul got up from the ground, but when he opened his eyes, he could not see nothing. They had led him by hand into Damascus. For 3 days he was blind and did not eat or drink." So that's the story and the history of Paul and what happened to Paul before he became an apostle of the kingdom. So that's just a little Bible fun fact for y'all with some Bible context behind it, and hopefully y'all learned something from this video. Peace.